Greetings, greetings superior beings, greetings supreme being, welcome to Universal Peace Television, the channel or PC Kaufman, the button on YouTube. This is the broadcast Meteor Risk February 4th, 2018. It's tomorrow. Hazardous asteroid the size of the Burj Khalifa hurtling towards Earth. So, even NASA claims it's a hazardous satellite, and the reason for this broadcast is my possible precognitive vision, though in this case I'm not certain if it was a vision at all or if it was just me waking up. I've talked more about it in my previous broadcasts, but the thing is that this satellite will pass by Earth very close, and it's about the 2002 AJ129, classified as potentially hazardous by NASA. I already did a broadcast about it, but a new thing occurred to me, and the question is if it will move inside the space of the geosynchronous satellites. So this is about another asteroid. This article, it's of Daily Mail. But here is what we read so far, also on the Daily Mail. So let's read this. Because if it would clash into one of these satellites, then of course its course could alter and then it could reach Earth anyway, even if now it doesn't. So the question is there a warning system for potentially hazardous meteors and asteroids? Probably not. I've never heard a warning about that in the news, that's for sure. And the man in India died of the meteor or asteroid hitting him, and we can see these videos on YouTube of the asteroid or meteor crashing in Russia, and people were not warned about this either. So all these billions for space and for the NASA Freemasons, for their fake moon landing, etc. I think it's a waste of your taxpayer money to prevent you from controlling these factors that control aging. So the theory, a new theory, is also that there are those among them that already have such a way to control the factors that control aging. We see, for example, pictures of Putin and others, people that resembled Putin and others back in history, like very old photographs, looking about as old as they do today. Not that I think that these are real time travelers, and even if they are, then the question is, are they still aging, or can they use that technology to stop aging in its tracks, perhaps even to grow younger to the age they want to be?
Potentially hazardous asteroid the size of the Burj Khalifa is heading towards Earth at 67,000 miles per hour. The 2002 AJ129 asteroid has been classed as potentially hazardous by NASA. It will fly past on 4th February at speeds of 67,000 miles per hour, 107,826 km/h. This makes it nearly 15 times faster than the world's quickest manned aircraft. It is set to pass by our planet on the 4th February at a distance of around 4,208,641 kilometers away, which is relatively close in space terms. Is it possible they have made a calculation error, and why does NASA call it potentially hazardous? NASA describes asteroids as hazardous if they come within 4,600,000 miles, 7,402,982 kilometers, of our planet. Could this be the meteor mentioned by Nostradamus in his quatrains? Do they know the name of the person that calculated how close this meteor will pass by Earth? dailymail.co.uk. (2018), the potentially hazardous asteroid 27603320002 AJ129 will have a safe close encounter with the Earth, transiting at 4.2 millions of km from us.
So how can NASA be so sure when it's clear that it's going through the area of the geosynchronous and other satellites? And there are lots of other things floating in space. They've said themselves that they cannot monitor everything. Smaller objects are not monitored by them. And I've never heard a warning in the news about possible meteor and asteroid strikes anyway.
Asteroid 2002 AJ129 to fly safely past Earth February 4th.
It doesn't look soothing to me, though it looks smooth. Oh, and now I read something about Super Bowl. Does it coincide with the Super Bowl or something? No, an asteroid is not going to destroy Earth on Super Bowl Sunday. Oh really? I thought, wow, perhaps this Super Bowl Sunday the Earth will be destroyed. But they are already ahead of me. How it will not stop the New England Patriots. Sunday, 4th of February 2018. Hey, that's tomorrow. Well, then we can read that.
No, an asteroid is not going to destroy Earth on Super Bowl Sunday. 1 comment: everything you should know about asteroid 2000 AJ129, including how it will not stop the New England Patriots. You may have heard about a Daily Mail piece that helpfully informed everyone that a giant asteroid will be hurtling through Earth's little corner of the universe on Sunday. Go ahead and RSVP to that Super Bowl party and buy whatever you need to make that buffalo chicken dip, because that asteroid isn't going to hit anything. NASA has been tracking this particular asteroid, known as asteroid 2000 AJ129, for years. But it landed on everyone's radar, pun intended, in January when the Daily Mail made it sound like this thing might actually collide with Earth. It won't. Here's everything you need to know about this massive chunk of space gravel that's not going to actually impact your life in any way on Sunday. What is an asteroid? It's a piece of rock that orbits the Sun. The Earth's atmosphere gets hit with an asteroid about the size of a car once a year or so, but it typically burns itself up before hitting the ground, according to NASA. How big is this asteroid? It's estimated to be between 0.3 and 0.75 miles wide. And it's flying toward Earth at 67,000 miles per hour. So yeah, if it did hit, it would be catastrophic. But it won't. NASA projects that any asteroid larger than a half a mile across could have a worldwide impact. A worldwide impact, like the one that wiped out the dinosaurs? That asteroid was projected to be as large as 7.5 miles wide and caused mass extinction 66 million years ago. This one would be bad, but not that bad. If an asteroid the size of AJ129 did hit the Earth, It would cause death and destruction around the impact site and would also throw debris and dust into the atmosphere. It might take as long as a decade for that to settle, and the result would be global cooling and darkness. Why did NASA label it potentially hazardous then? It labels any asteroid that's larger than a half-mile wide and passing within 4.65 million miles of Earth as potentially hazardous. This one will come to us will still be 10 times the distance between Earth and the Moon. Are you absolutely sure it won't hit us? Yes. Please allow NASA manager Paul Chodas to explain. We have been tracking this asteroid for over 14 years and know its orbit very accurately, Chodas said. Asteroid 2002 AJ129 has no chance, zero, of colliding with Earth on February 4 or any time over the next 100 years. There is a better chance of the Browns winning Super Bowl, a game they are most certainly not playing in, than of this asteroid hitting the Earth. What if I'd rather watch the asteroid than the Super Bowl? Then you're in luck, because you can. Get your telescope out and visit the skylift to find out precisely where the asteroid is. You can also get a sense of its trajectory with this handy video NASA put together. In Firefox you can also completely disable GIF animations, or only allow them to play through one time. Here's what you have to do. In the location bar type about config and hit enter. Type animation in the filter field, to quickly find the needed preference. Double-click the image.animation_mode line and edit it to one of the following. None, will prevent image animation. Once, will let the image animate once. Normal, default, will allow it to play over and over.
Well, I'm looking how to pause the playing of the animated GIF image. Here you can see it will almost intersect with Earth, but it's so the asteroid will move in front of the Earth, I think. So if it is moved from its trajectory by satellite or other objects, then it would slow it down and then it would exactly crash on Earth, basically. That's the idea. So we don't have to wait another year or whatever for that to happen if it occurs. So I would not be so sure that there's no other debris and stuff that will hit Earth tomorrow. So this looks very close to Earth. The only time 2002 AJ129 has come closer to our planet was on 6th of February 1904. Baltimore catches fire, 1,500 buildings destroyed in 80 blocks, 4th of February 1904. Japan and Russia declare war, February 10th. Oh, that fire was February 7th. So the only thing they've here is John Millington Synge's play, Well of Saints, premieres in Dublin. So they're not even listing this meteor or asteroid. So it's an asteroid, according to what we read. What the difference is, you'd have to look it up. So I think it's not a paranoid idea to think that we haven't heard any warnings in the news, that there is not enough information for the people about these potentially hazardous asteroids and meteors that come close to Earth, that there should be more warnings. Because there are rather big satellites out there, I think, and if it would hit one, then that would definitely alter its course. So exactly where will it pass by Earth if its course is not altered? Do they know that then? What countries would be closest to it, though it's supposedly millions of kilometers away? That's a very small space in the universe. You could argue it's infinitely small. It's a tiny space, it's very close to Earth. I also was wondering if it's closer to Earth than the Moon, or if it could hit the Moon also, because if that would get out of its normal orbit, then that would probably also kill all life on Earth. And then the normalcy bias is applicable. If it never happened before, then I think it will never happen. They will not prepare anything that cannot happen, or that it's extremely unlikely. Though theoretically, if you look at its trajectory, and it's recurring every so many years, etc., then it's certain it will hit Earth sooner or later. The question is not if it will, but when. If you imagine this going on forever. So that's about the pass that I wanted to make. Here we see Earth and here we see the satellite. So here it already has passed Earth. So they figure it will be this close to Earth. But if it is hit by a satellite or some other space debris, then that could slow it down. And then it would hit the Earth about here. And the Earth is over here, so this is constantly moving. Here another illustrative image by Wikipedia, CIA Vatican Edited Encyclopedia. And where is the fucking moon in this picture? I'm missing the moon here. Why is it missing on all these pictures? Is it too hard to draw? Solar system, Sun in the middle, Venus, Mercury, Earth, again no moon. So I do not believe in the flat Earth theory, which was concocted by these Masons to cover up their Apollo moon landing hoax, fake Apollo moon landings. And I think that there are satellites my latest theory, because you can see them from Earth, they are geosynchronous. So if you make a picture with a long shutter speed, then all the stars are moving while the geosynchronous objects remain as a little dot on the picture, basically, while the other things make stripes. So then the theory would be I'm looking it up. So people can get a radiological water filter and storable food, just in case a third Jesuit world war is planned. It pushes against the particles that it ejects itself. The rocket, for example, the spacecraft. Then steering and giving it direction in space would be possible. But the other idea is that it's not possible because on Earth planes push the air, boats push water, cars push the road, but in space there are no molecules, there's a vacuum in space. Even according to NASA. And of course you have these people making ridiculous claims that space is water and all that, because you see these air bubbles coming from their spacesuits and they have to cover it up somehow. So then they mix the truth with lies so that they can label you a conspiracy theorist. If you quote, for example, Alex Jones or other self-proclaimed conspiracy theorists, control the position, gatekeepers, also called shills, working for them, not against them, because they are controlled opposition to themselves, which is the best way to prevent real resistance. To get all those people that could potentially form real resistance to the people depopulating the Earth, that want to impose this satanic Luciferian totalitarian global government upon the people of planet Earth. And then I saw these recent cosmonauts, longest spacewalk so far, and there was if I could find it, it's doubtful. But there were what seemed to be like objects moving behind the astronauts. Of course, we do not see any stars, but now they are supposedly editing in satellites. If this is fake and if it's real, then the question would be why we never see any stars or satellites on these recordings of the International Space Station. Perhaps it was earlier or later during the video. Okay.
My God, it's full of stars.
Out here in the perimeter, there are no stars.
Okay, now.
When Alexei Leonov made the world's first
That's working. Moment, you can feel that.
So basically, smart people like us who know that Apollo moon landings are fake, NASA Freemasons are doing that, that they did that to the American people and the people of the world, are looking for anomalies. So here we definitely see some lights and some bluish type of thing. But these people seem not to notice it and not to talk about it or explain anything to the audience that they're broadcasting to.
This is the second spacewalk of the year outside the International Space Station.
Okay, my mic is on. And it says time in the right bottom corner. This is their YouTube channel. Oh, it also says NASA, okay. So NASA material is copyright free. People pay tax money for this shit. ISS. My asses. So theoretically the ISS could be real, but I have my doubts. Also because of the bubbles coming from spacesuits of astronauts. Michael Jackson's monkey was golden bubbles. I think it was here in the beginning. Then you could see these lights also moving. It's taking long to load. I know it's somewhere in this video because I just watched it. Yeah, I think it was shot from this position.
Shoot. Please hold on. I am holding on.
So I'm not surprised if they are bombed or shot as well. I should have looked at what time it occurred. But I thought it was weird that they didn't explain what it was. No stars, of course. The sunlight is way too bright. Though you can see them from Earth during the daytime as well. The moon, for example. Some bright stars. That's why you never see them in these NASA videos. So what is all this? Well, I first thought, so now they are editing in satellites. So at a certain point, these white dots we see begin to move in a certain direction. Somewhere in the video it is visible. Now at 450. So yeah, what is the blue that I see on the left side of my screen and these white dots? And would it look like that if a connection would be lost or interfered with? Purple, orange stripes on the screen. Or are we looking at an edited video by NASA which they pretended is live? At least when they were broadcasting this on their live TV, NASA TV. Which you can also get via Kodi. Now the white dots are gone. Over here you can still see one.
shortly before the end of today's spacewalk, the flight control team here will instruct Vandahai and Akaba to move inside their Soyuz return vehicle, that being the Soyuz MS-06, that is docked to the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the station, namely the Poisk module. They will be there during the repressurization of the Piers docking compartment airlock. The reason that they will be isolated inside their Soyuz vehicle during the repressurization is in the unlikely event a problem would occur with the repressurization of Piers. The two cosmonauts could make their way back to the service module and its associated instrumentation assembly and the jettisoning of that hardware. That unit weighs 60 pounds on Earth and measures 2 feet by 1.5 feet by 1/2 foot. It will be jettisoned retrograde from the aft end of the service. Along with EVA tools to translate down.
It's in place but not locked. Yeah, I'm gonna secure mine and you should yours. Can you double check? Yeah, it's locked. Yeah, the protective ring has been installed and secured. Okay, copy. No, it's time for the safety tether. Right. There's a bit of a slack on it, I guess. The one that's holding the ring, right? It's not a big deal. So what do we do with it? Oh, okay. Good. Done. Copy. Nick, did you put a hook on the suit too? Not yet. Alright. Anton is from where you are. Because we'll need to take care of that activation while we're here. Okay. Should I turn yours on? Yeah, let me take care of yours first. Okay. The E-hip lights are activated on this side. Yeah, let me try this. Is that better? Sure.
Later or not? Yes. You do remove it later.
Replaced with a high-frequency wideband receiver antenna. Protectively and isolated in that combination, that mated combination of the Poisk module and their Soyuz vehicle during the repressurization of the Piers docking compartment airlock on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station, to which their Soyuz MS-06 return craft is docked. They will be there protectively, as are the flight rules during a Russian EVA. Problem would occur repressurizing the AM Central Time for a launch at 2:58 AM Central Time, which will be 2:58.
The candle is installed. What did you say, Vladimir?
So there we see one of the objects that I would imagine would have to be a satellite. That's at 2 hours 42 minutes 36 seconds. There we can see it sort of blinking and flying.
We just want to make sure you guys
So they could claim it's space debris, a satellite, shooting star perhaps. But they want you to have the illusion that it's a UFO, that it's possibly an alien spaceship and stuff like that.
but don't tighten too much. Understand?
They may have planned a fake alien invasion to depopulate Earth to 500 million with directed energy weapons. Blame it then on the aliens, and then after they've depopulated us to their desirable number, which is 500 million, they will claim they freed us from the pesky aliens and they are heroes. Project Blue Beam, etc.
Let's make sure it's safe.
They have completed the locking of the
But there's another part which has more moving objects, so you can all check that for yourselves. Or are these just air bubbles that they can't really get rid of? They would claim it's space debris, but these are air bubbles. You can see them floating up, so that's where the top side is, where it's black and they project that Earth underneath it, etc. But the other blinking things are supposed to be satellites, I think. Because I've made it clear that we see no satellites, no stars, no airplanes, etc. on all the material devices. There is one recording where they fly over a satellite, I think. I'm gonna charge one of my devices. This is interesting. 7 hours 35 minutes. So I'm not gonna download that for now, but you all can. And I've done several broadcasts exposing NASA, also covering their other hoaxes, including the top 10 of things that prove beyond any reasonable doubt the Apollo moon landings are faked, that the Apollo moon landings are a hoax perpetrated by these NASA Freemasons. So it's one of the ways they keep an advantage over the people of planet Earth. So one thing is pretending that they move through space with these spaceships that are not flying saucers, that can in reality not travel through space, etc. That's one idea. Another idea was that they placed these satellites with a rocket, and since you cannot move the rocket in space because there is no air molecules to push, they cannot steer the devices, but some people think that space travel is impossible, and that they've placed these satellites by aiming correctly, and then it will fly forever on that path as soon as it's left the Earth's atmosphere at the speed it is going, and then releasing the satellite by making counter force equally big to the speed it is traveling, to place, for example, the Astra satellites, which are used for the television signals. But my father basically thinks that it pushes against the particles that it ejects itself. So when the engine is emitting its fumes, and the fireball or whatever, the exhaust basically is pushing against itself to push the vehicle forward. So that's also about Hubble being fake. the Mars rover being fake. The Chinese Freemasons also have the fake moon landing with the moon rover. And some other NASA hoaxes. ISS also being fake. Bubbles we see coming from their spacesuit, charging the device. So yeah, charging a device, doing yoga, breathing technique, yoga hydro exercise, doing healing stuff. Oh, of course, I need to masturbate for universal peace. As long as you are alone, you have to love yourself. Nobody else is loving you. And single ladies are invited, so they're welcome to drink some coconut pineapple smoothie and to watch a movie and stuff like that. Of course, many people are having dinner at this time in the Netherlands. 6 hours earlier in the US. Of course, ladies in the US can always Skype Prologic999 if they want someone to talk to for good advice. And yeah, I think that's it for now for this broadcast. So be prepared for possible meteor strike or asteroid strike tomorrow, 4th of February. I'd say between 9 and 9 o'clock basically. 9 and 2100 hours. There is an increased risk of asteroid and meteor impact, which they cannot deny if they cannot calculate its exact path, if it will hit any geosynchronous or other satellites or space debris floating out there. Then it may be harder to predict its trajectory. And the question is also how they predict a trajectory. They do that by observing the sky, of course, with telescopes, and then calculating how fast the object is traveling and in which direction. What direction? Not seeing any meteors or falling stars at the moment. Boring. So you can go underground, you can wear a helmet. There are several things people can do. Perhaps it would be fun to spend a day underground somewhere, in a parking garage or something like that. But that would be a bit on the paranoid side, or not. I mean, if you don't know where it's going to strike and there is an increased risk, and it's a very big satellite, it's the biggest Burj Dubai, Burj Khalifa, whatever. I have it standing right here, but I'm not gonna show you the model. Perhaps I've shown it in another. That's the tallest building in the world. That's really high. And I think it looks nicer than the Chrysler building, which is also a nice, two of the best looking skyscrapers in the world, though there may be others that I don't know about. Okay, yeah, weird. I have an impossible low amount of viewers. I've explained what could be the cause. YouTube selectively blocking viewers and unsubscribing people, etc. And I don't know if there's anything people could do about that. And it could also be the NSA or MI5, MI6. The broadcasting light is going reddish and green, flickering. That's this light I'm talking about. Something is causing that as well. So Skype me for more fun online, for good conversations, and yeah, to ask questions or talk about any subject that is vital for our timeline, for universal peace. And it's just a peace sign, it means peace to most people. They don't think, oh, he's Churchill or whatever. So it's just the V of vrede in Dutch is peace. Salam shalom. Universal peace forever. More about this and how to prevent that third Jesuit World War in my previous broadcast, so check this channel. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, spread the information like healing antibodies around the globe for a better timeline. Let logic reign supreme. Depart from evil and do good. Recovery begins with non-compliance. Stay proactive. Do peaceful things. Do things for universal peace. You can also make it clear to the world that you're doing it for universal peace. For example, protesting against President Trump's plans to produce more nuclear weapons to revive and spend $1 trillion on that instead of on controlling the factors that control aging. Insane. That must be prevented somehow for universal peace.